Thanks for watching Your Plates Are Mine, where you don't have to be a professional chef to be a star in your own kitchen. I'm your host, David Miller, and I'd like to invite you to spend a little time with us as we meet some great new friends who are going to show us how to make something incredible you're going to want to make at home. I'm here in Christiana, Tennessee, in front of Miller's Grocery. Miller's Grocery has been a fixture in Christiana for a long, long time, and they serve some incredible food. So let's go meet Dustin and Laura, and they're going to share a little bit of the history of Miller's Grocery and share some incredible food with us. This is Laura Phillips, co-owner of Miller's Grocery here in Christiana, Tennessee. Laura, thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
This is such a neat place. Tell us a little bit about how it came to be.
We came to an auction to look at some scales, my partner and I. She was interested in some scales. She found out that the building was for auction as well.
Okay.
She decided to buy the building. She found that if it wasn't sold, it was going to be torn down.
Oh.
And to be a historical place, she just didn't want that to happen. So
right. And now your partner is?
Debbie Barner.
Debbie Barner.
And so
Debbie's a little shy. She didn't want to be on camera.
So she had the vision of seeing it as just a little, keeping it as a mom and pop grocery store with a little bit of food, sandwiches.
Right.
But she had quite a reputation that followed her from being in the restaurant business in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
So it just became...
So it became popular beyond your dreams
yes.
and grew into what it is now.
Right.
Right. Well,
right.
I know this place has such a neat background and neat history. Tell us a little about that.
Well, Mr. Stanley Miller owned and ran the grocery store, Miller's Grocery, for 75 years. It was a popular meeting place for a lot of men and locals in the area. So when he passed away and it did go up for auction, we wanted to keep the name in his honor.
Right. Now this used to be downtown Christiana, wasn't it?
Yes, there was a hotel here, the old bank, the building over here, that's the gift shop, that was the Bank of Christiana.
Right.
The old safe is still back there. We have a few old checks from it still.
Neat.
There was a train depot here, a pencil factory, blacksmith. There was a lot of businesses here in Christiana.
Right, and Miller's Grocery was kind of the
center.
social center of it all.
Yes,
Neat.
yes, and it was kind of a community center as well before the grocery came about.
Nice. Now, I've been lucky enough to eat here, and I know the food is fantastic, even award-winning.
Right.
And so how did you decide on the menu?
At first, we always knew we wanted to do fried catfish. That just seemed to fit out here, and so we just started out with doing catfish with burgers and chicken sandwiches, 3 things on the menu. And then we knew we wanted to start adding the vegetables, the things that we grew up eating at our grandmother's house, our family reunions, all the good beans and greens and mashed potatoes. And then the meatloaf, just kind of took what we grew up eating, and especially in the South, and we knew that's what people wanted.
So pretty much Southern comfort food.
Yes.
Well, Miller's Grocery, one of the things they are known for is their fantastic desserts.
Yes.
Award-winning fantastic desserts.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we just won Best of Tennessee in the Tennessee Magazine for Middle Tennessee for desserts.
Excellent,
Yes.
excellent. And what, was there a particular dessert that won, or
No,
is it just all of them?
Just desserts.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and we've got usually about 10 to 12 choices out there. So
They got a whole counter full.
Yes.
Now that's how you do dessert.
right. We do recommend reservations for the weekends. Friday night, Saturday night from 5 to 9 we serve dinner. And also on Sundays from 11 to 2 we do a buffet.
Okay, that's the big Sunday brunch that is so popular.
Yes. So we do recommend calling. It's 615-893-1878.
893-1878.
And our website is millersgrocery.com.
Okay.
You can see our menus and get the hours and information, but we don't recommend leaving any reservations on our email, we'd rather you call.
Okay, yeah, it's best to call. And Friday and Saturday night so popular because, well, the food's great, but you also have live music.
We also have live music.
Right.
We have some very talented guys that come out Friday and Saturday night and just do a lot of bluegrass, country, old and new. So you can have that while you're dining.
A lot of fun. Now, you said Dustin is going to show us how to make one of the Miller's Grocery favorites.
Yes.
Salmon patties?
Salmon patties.
Salmon patties, great. Well, let's go in and meet Dustin.
Okay.
And get started making those.
Okay, great.
We're here in the kitchen with Dustin Barner, the head chef at Miller's Grocery. Dustin, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
What are we making?
We're going to make some salmon patties today.
Salmon patties?
Yes, sir. Some Southern Salmon Patties.
Southern Salmon Patties, even better.
That's about a pound right there, and that's an Alaskan king salmon. But you can use any kind of salmon you want. It really doesn't matter. But this has some bigger flakes in it, a little bit better fat, so a better flavor.
Okay.
So that's about a pound there before it's cooked. So that's about how much you're going to need if you're doing it at home. So you just go ahead and put that in a pan in an oven at 350 degrees.
350?
Yep.
About how long?
I'd say that little piece there, about a pound, would take 10 to 15 minutes at 350.
10 to 15 minutes,
Yep.
okay.
And then once you can tell when it's done, if you just want to take your finger, you can push it and the flakes will just fall right off of there.
Okay.
Even if you don't have good chef fingers, you know, you can touch it, it's not going to
You can
hurt
just
you.
boop.
Yep.
All right,
That's it.
excellent.
So, and what this sauce is, it's just a dill sauce. It's going to complement the patties real well.
All right.
And it's basically what I've got in this cup here. It's 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of milk.
A cup of heavy cream and a cup of milk?
That's right, yep, just vitamin D milk, 2%, skim, really anything you want to use. So. Then once you get that in, I've got some spices back here. So you've got your Cajun here, and any kind of Cajun is fine. Any kind of Cajun seasoning you can make or find yourself is good. So we'll go ahead and add that in there. That's 1 tablespoon of that.
All right.
And then we've got a lemon pepper here. You can find that anywhere, any kind of grocery store. That's 1/4 teaspoon. And then we've got some dill weed here. This is dried dill weed. Once again, any grocery store, 1/4 tablespoon. And then finally, we got some garlic, and that's 1/2 teaspoon right here.
Okay. Now, is that garlic salt?
That is garlic salt. That is garlic salt. You're correct.
Good deal.
Yep. And then once you've got that done, we'll go ahead and take this on medium-low heat.
Medium-low.
Yep, just because you don't want to scorch your milk.
All right.
So for now, if you want to help me out with these vegetables here, I'm going to grab some celery.
Okay.
And then if you want to start with the peppers, basically all we're going to do is just a coarse dice.
Coarse dice.
So yeah, it's not too fine, not too big, but just nice and perfect.
All right. Good deal.
So if you want to do that, and then with your celery here, if you just want to kind of take it and just go down the line with it, so you get like little chunks like that, so that whenever you go to slice it, it's automatically going to make little chunks for you. And you can just watch where you're going, not where you've been, so that way you don't take your finger off or nothing. And now with the onion, there's a couple different ways that people like to cut these. This is a little more dangerous, but it gets a better chop down. So I'll kind of come underneath and separate these ribs out. So it's already, as I'm doing that, now when I go this way, it's already going to have little squares running all the way through it. See that?
Yep.
And I don't go all the way through. I leave a little bit on there, so that tail holds the onion together for me.
Nice.
Now I'm not having to do that. So you'll just kind of take your knife at an angle and just go right down.
Beauty.
And I've just got some clarified butter over here. If you can just use a stick of butter and let the water cook out of it a little bit. But if you wanted to have clarified, you can just take that, microwave your butter, and then stick it up on top of a hot spot for about 30 minutes, an hour, and then you'll actually see that water and fat separate.
Okay.
And the butter will come to the top, and then you can just take that right off the top, and you've got some clarified butter there. So.
Nice. Got them done there?
That's beautiful.
There's one
Looks
live
good,
guy.
man.
There we go. Now
Very nice.
Now
very
I got
nice.
them all.
Better watch out for my job here.
Yeah. Now I've eaten here. I've had lunch and dinner here. Tell us about the crowds that you get.
Well, it's lunchtime. We don't really say that you need to make reservations because it's so quick. You know, we make good food and we make it to order, but we do it very quickly.
Right.
So if it's at lunchtime, we'll get you in and get you out pretty quickly. But if you come dinner time, Friday or Saturday, I definitely recommend making a reservation. Because if you come on a Friday or Saturday night, we've got 300 to 400 people plus.
Wow.
So that's about 4 hours that we're open. That's 100 people every hour.
Wow.
So you're going to be in here.
So
and
you're packed to capacity.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Pretty much start to finish.
Oh yeah. But it's got live music. You know, it's a real good time. You can bring your own drinks, anything, wine, liquor, beer. We'll cork it for free, and put it on your table, and y'all can just enjoy yourselves and have a good time.
Nice. The Trinity's ready to go in the clarified butter.
It's ready to go. Yep. Butter's nice and hot. You definitely want to make sure that we don't sweat these. And sweating is if your pan's too cool and it just thuds in there, then it's not going to saute. It's just going to sweat them out. It's going to be a big mushy mess. So you want to make sure your pan's very hot. And then whenever you're doing something like this in a hot pan, always make sure that you're pushing everything away from you. Never do it like this. Never try to come in and scoop it in like that, because that butter's going to burn you real good, trust me.
All right.
So we'll keep it away from us, and then just push it down. And then that crackling right there is what you want to hear.
Okay.
That's what you want to hear right there. So that way we don't sweat them out too much and they get a nice saute on them. So we'll just let that cruise around there for a minute, let them get a good saute. And you don't want it so hot that it's just going to burn them up right away too. We want them to cook for a second.
All right.
So we'll just kind of sit here and let these cook on. Say this will take probably, say 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Yep, 2 to 3 minutes. Those should be good to go. Once you see them starting to turn a little translucent, then that's when you know that they're good to go. That's when you know they're done.
So you're just trying to soften them a little bit and get a little more flavor into
Exactly.
Right.
Pull some of that color out of there, get some more flavor into it, impart some more flavor. And then once we've got that, we're going to put them in the patties, and then we're going to saute the patties again. So that's why they don't have to be completely cooked. So, you know, don't worry about that just now.
Good deal.
I'm saying about another minute, minute and a half, those are going to be good to go.
Yeah, those little distinctions between, say, the sweat and the saute, you know, to the average cook at home who doesn't do a lot of that, you know, those little fine lines make a big difference.
Oh, a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And I know I still look online, too, and look at some recipes, and I see some that are explaining stuff, and even you know, it even goes over my head a little bit. It's like, whoa, you know, kind of explain a little bit more about that.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, everybody needs to know. You know, it doesn't hurt at all, so. And I'd say that's going to be good right there.
Okay.
See how they just kind of took a little bit of color out of there? They got a nice little gloss to them. They're starting to turn translucent, starting to fold up a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll pretty much just turn that off now.
All right.
And to go drain that butter out of there.